you one generation below, then two generations below Ahmad. This notion about meritocracy, I think during our time we had some problems, when we first got back. But I think over time, I've seen a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my university mates who've done very well. In fact, some of them have done, quite a number have done better than me. And I think when you come back to the corporate scene, when you join the corporate scene, they will quote people like Ahmad, saying, if Ahmad can do it, you can do it. Then, there are a lot of examples now. For me, I was lucky when I joined Avenue Capital Resources, which is a local investment bank here. I was only 29. It's a public listed company, and the board, I had I must say, the board members were all Tan Sri, they were ex-deputy IGP. I had the director general of the accountant general. I have the director of Ministry of Finance there as a fellow board members. And here I am, a 29-year-old guy who knows a bit, but nothing compared to my fellow board members. And they look at me and say, look, you need to turn around this company. And we have, somehow they gave us the support. I didn't really know what I was going to do, to be honest. So, it's true. Me and Ahmad, whenever we start something new, we have an idea of what we think we should do. But whether it's right or wrong, that is the tough part. We had to make a decision. I think this is where the seniors look at us. They want to see whether we are able to make that decision. And whatever decision that we make, they want to know what is the thought process. So if you can demonstrate that you have that ability, you will get the support. You should start with sharing your mission, sharing your vision about, for example, for me, about the company. I had senior management with me at a time, and I think the youngest guy was 45, and the rest were all in their early 50s, because it was a government-linked company, so you tend to have all this very old, older generation there. But slowly, they knew a lot more than I did. And instead of trying to pretend that I knew more, like Ahmad said, I tapped on them, and a lot of advice was given, and that made my life in the company much easier. And in the end, I think if I did it alone, I wouldn't have made it. And it's because of the seniors that we managed to pull through.
So now I'll take questions from the floor, if there are. Of course, I think today is short and sweet, so please keep your questions short. Can I start with the gentleman on my right?
Hi.
Would you like to direct this to a specific number?
No, this question is for everybody on the stage. I did ask Mr. Zafro this question before when we met, I think a couple of months ago. But I would like to ask the same question to other two members. Mr. Ahmad did mention about finding the right coach. So how exactly, for the young people like us, have a very limited resources to find coach, to choose coach? How exactly are we doing that? And once we find a coach, do they give advice more on the professional side or more on the personal side, or either in between? That's my question.
Thank you. I think I'll take 4, 2 on each side. So.
Hi, Sean from King's College Cathedral. This question is basically for the entire panel. It's true what you said, that this country has come, very far, but there's no doubt that it still can't compete with financial capitals like, London, New York, or even regional capitals like Singapore or Hong Kong. We handle transactions of $100 million, like $100 million, like once a month, whereas, in those places they handle it, every day. And there's no indication that this is going to change anytime soon. And this is because, people lack confidence in our system, because if they see it's much less efficient than those other places, because we've been known to flaunt the rule of law, and it's often, as you said, not so much what you know, but who you know. And I know you said just now that that it's the same, it's not alien in other places as well, but there's no denying that this is much more the case here. So my question is, would you advise young corporate Malaysians, Malaysians who have come to see themselves as more of global citizens and who have the corresponding language and social skills, would you advise them to continue working in this country, and if so, why? Thank you.
My question is actually really similar to the gentleman over there. So what is really actually the problem that there's this trend among the youth today, which is to study abroad, get a job abroad, and don't come back, only come back for holidays. So what do you think this is happening? And what can you tell us to convince us that a career in Malaysia can be more rewarding or as rewarding as compared to a career abroad?
On the left.
Good afternoon, my name is Jim Dick and I'm going to Stanford to read economics. I'd like to address the question to Mr. Ahmad Shafizan. The question is more like a personal level question. I just want to ask, as everybody would agree, investment is a very lucrative career, very potentially lucrative career, and a lot of youngsters are interested in it, including me. Just to ask, upon graduation, many people will be very much willing to work in investment banks just to get experience and exposure. But I just want to ask, as the years go on, how much is the dollar sign a motivation factor to Mr. Ahmad, and if so, why? And maybe what are the factors that keep driving you on? Thank you.
I think we'll take one last one.
This question is directed to Kuzato and Ruben. Can you please share with us, the student leaders of today, share with us your experience being involved in this social corporate network, young leaders for tomorrow, and I think it's this young corporate Malaysia. Right? Can you please share with us what you've been up to and stuff?
Sorry, can you clarify that question?
No, I would like Tengku, Zafro, and Ruben to share with us the experience and the involvement in Leaders for Tomorrow, the social corporate network.
Thank you. I'll have to turn down what do you understand? Okay, we'll take your questions a little bit later. Is that okay? So I think we'll start with answering the question.
Okay, I'll start in reverse order. The last question about investments and it being potentially a lucrative field. Yes, I wouldn't deny that investment is actually very interesting and also quite rewarding. But be warned, it's also very demanding in terms of your time and your life. I worked in investments as an analyst for nearly 10 years. I got married before I started doing that job. My first 2 kids, I hardly knew that. And that was actually one of the downsides. My wife was working and eventually she decided that it was better for her to be at home. At least one parent was around. So it comes at a cost. And after a while, I think, and Zafro actually was the one who can answer this because he was also working for a foreign brokerage. Yes, it gives you a lot of insights, but after a while, you ask yourself, why are you doing this? Is it for the money? Is it for your clients? I remember when I was an analyst, I think I was about 27, 28 then, 12 o'clock at night, still in the office, trying to understand Naga National's results. Picked up the phone, called Zafro, he was